Hello everybody, this is Pitch. I just got back from Spain from holiday, still black here, and welcome to Underworld Updates number 57, in which once again I am going to be unboxing a rare W.H. Allen Doctor Who target novelisation hardback. This is, in my opinion, one of the rarest target hardbacks that you can get. The cheapest prices for this on Amazon is 20 quid. However, those are X libraries. The cheapest for a non-EX library on Amazon is 30 quid. I paid 20 for this, and it's a non-EX library from what I know, which is pretty incredible. And I've also got some other things to talk about in this video as well with regard to Doctor Who in general, which I think will interest you guys. So without further ado, let us begin this unboxing, which is going to be quite an easy one to do. Literally just peel off the tape and unsheath the book. And another thing that I will say before revealing the book is that without question, this Doctor Who book cover, this Doctor Who book, have the cover to what is, in my opinion, my favourite Doctor Who book cover. I mean, there are some fantastic Doctor Who book covers. I mean, even the camera is stacked on top of some really nice looking Doctor Who books as of now even. But I think from looking at the images and just getting a kind of brief glance at it through the envelope, oh bugger, fuck's sake, this is my favourite Doctor Who book cover. And as I said, this target novelisation hardback is extremely rare. This is, I wouldn't say the rarest target hardback out of my collection, but it is one of the most valuable and one of the rarest in my collection. And it's a lot more red than I thought it was, actually. And interestingly enough, another thing, just to tease you guys before I reveal what hardback this is. Interestingly enough, this target novelisation is written by 2 people, and I believe this is the only target novelisation that was actually written by 2 people. So, which makes this target hardback extremely unique and amongst the target novelisation range. What is this very rare target hardback, you ask? It is the Doctor Who target novelisation hardback of The Celestial Toymaker by Jerry Davies and Alison Bingman. Now another thing I'd like to point out about this book, just before I start to showcase it, I honestly thought Alison, or the name of this person down here, Alice Bingman, or however you pronounce it, was actually called Alison Bingham, and that unfortunately brought back some and unfortunately, when I thought that it did say Bingham, that brought back some horrible memories of a school that I used to go to, because part of the reason why I left that school is because the teachers were absolutely awful, and one of them was named Mrs. Bingham. And if you're watching this, well, Mrs. Bingham, well, you know what my thoughts are on you. Where the fuck am I going with this? Anyways, onto the kind of showcasing of this utterly magnificent looking Doctor Who book. So set against this kind of blurry kind of sunset orange, we have Fury Sunset Orange, we have the 1980s Doctor Who logo in blue, the Celestial Toymaker, Joe Davis and Alan Bingham. Then encased in this triangle to symbol the Trilogic game, we have the Celestial Toymaker himself and 2 of his clowns. Then there we've got a few playing cards in the background there, which is really nice. Absolutely beautiful cover. Again, I think this is my favourite Doctor Who book cover. It's just absolutely fantastic. And then for the spine, we have Doctor Who The Celestial Toymaker, Jerry Davies and Alison Bingham, W.H. Allen. I would also like to point out that this is my 6th William Hartnell target hardback, which is crazy to have. I never thought I'd get that many. I mean, I've Edge of Destruction, Marco Polo, Aztecs, Crusaders, Massacre, and now this. It's just feels wonderful to have that many in my collection, and to have this Target hardback in general. Somewhere outside space and time, there waits the Celestial Toymaker, an enigmatic being who ensnares unwary travellers into his domain to play out his dark and deadly games. Separated from the security of the TARDIS, the Doctor is forced to play the complex trilogic game with the evil magician. Meanwhile, Dodo and Stephen must enter into a series of tests with, among others, the schoolboy Cyril and the King and Queen of Hearts. If they lose, they are condemned to become the Toymaker's playthings for all eternity. For in the malevolent wonderland, there is the Celestial Toymaker room. Nothing, it's just for fun. And then we've got what this who this book was distributed by, the ISBN number and the barcode, and the price, which is and the original price, which was $6.95 net. And then for the inners, as you can see, it's just completely blank, no X-Library crap or anything like that. I don't mind getting X-Libraries, but just to have a non-X-Library is wonderful. Celestial Toymaker, and quite a privilege. Doctor Who the Celestial Toymaker, based on the BBC television series by Brian Hales, by arrangement of the British Broadcasting Corporation, Jerry Davies and Alan Bingeman, W.H. Allen, 1986. And then there we've got various copyright and then we've got the contents. This is a 10-chaptered Doctor Who book spread across, let me see here, 127 pages, with a foreword by Joey Davies. Wow, I didn't know this was in here. For a minute I thought this was a legit autograph, the book was actually signed, but no, it's actually printed. So here you've got a foreword by Joey Davies, and then there you've got like various things by him about the Celestial Toymaker, and then down here we have other various things about Celestial Toymaker, the continuation of the foreword by him. Then there you've got Joey Davis's autograph. It's not a legit autograph, it's actually a pre-printed autograph, which makes this Doctor Who Target hardback even more unique, because I didn't even know that this Target hardback had a pre-printed autograph in it, which makes this book even more cool and unique to own in my collection. So there it is, there was my unboxing of Doctor Who and the Celestial Toymaker hardback by Jerry Davies and Alan Bingeman. I probably will give this book a review in the future, and I probably will read this Doctor Who book soon, as I'm really curious in reading it. And Celestial Toymaker is a great story, or a really good story, from possibly my favourite season of Doctor Who. I mean, season 7 is really, really good. With Spearhead, Ambassadors, Silurians, Wrong Way Round, Bugger, and Inferno. That's a really good season, but at the same time I have a really big soft spot for season 3. And one more thing that I will say on season 3 is this. As you guys know, Doctor Who rarely ever deals with politics, and when I was thinking about season 3 the other day, and I managed to figure out or develop a theory that it's like entirely about politics, is in itself a miracle, because I believe there was like, I don't know, at least 3 classic series stories, I don't think any more than that, that outright dealt with politics like up front. But in my opinion, season 3 of Doctor Who is this sort of, I guess you'd say, underlying subtext or theme of politics, in my opinion, and sort of the current state on planet Earth at the time that this series was made and broadcasted, as all of the stories in it do have sort of underlying subtexts of politics, in my opinion. To clear myself up a little further, here's what I think the season 3 stories are about political wise, and in the current state, or that they were in the current state of 1965-66. Galaxy 4, in my opinion, sort of dealt with like the kind of testing of weapons and the kind of like secret sort of government experiments and stuff, or had like metaphors of secret government experiments and whatnot, with like the Dravens being cloned, and or just the Dravens being a clone race, and it's also a story that you don't really know which side to trust until the very end, or very near the very end as well, which is interesting. The Mythmakers, in my opinion, again, this was another kind of Doctor Who story which sort of dealt with like the testing of weapons and the coming up with new ideas, mainly being the horse in this story. Dalek's Master Plan again sort of dealt with sort of political kind of warfare, and well, I would say this story is a very kind of political, about like warfare and whatnot, with like, and sort of like foreign powers aligning to each other and stuff, with like the alien delegates uniting together to create the Time Destructor, and like metaphors for secret government experiments like the Time Destructor and stuff, with like the Time Destructor and whatnot, which is kind of like imagery of sort of government experiments and whatnot. The Massacre, in my opinion, is kind of a depiction of what weapons, what secret government weapons could really be used for, and what consequences they could have upon the world. Same sort of thing with this next story, which literally deals with the end of the world, the Ark. Then of course we have the Celestial Toymaker. Again, this is another sort of political story, in my opinion, or a subtextually political story, which sort of dealt with weapons testing once again, and sort of like, this is, in my opinion, one of the most political stories out of the entirety of season 3, simply because it shows that the Celestial Toymaker, or I always like to call them a metaphor for like the government, sort of can do whatever the hell they want and sort of create whatever they want, and just basically can create whatever weapons they want, and the sort of title implies that he is this like godly figure that can do whatever he wants and create whatever weapons he can want, hence the word celestial. In my opinion, the gunfighters sort of dealt with warfare very minimalistically. Not 100% on the gunfighters really. This may have done nothing with this sort of political thing that I'm on about. But it sort of did deal with warfare to an extent. Savages, in my opinion, this is another kind of, in my opinion, the Savages and Celestial Toymaker are the most political out of this season, simply because Savages sort of, in my opinion, echoes the Nazi concentration camps from World War II and whatnot, because with this story you see literally a divided society, and like one race literally utilising another race for their own selfish acts. So yeah, there's that. And finally, the War Machines, which in my opinion is kind of like the unveiling of new weapons and whatnot, and hey, the War Machines themselves sort of like tanks, look like tanks anyway. So yeah, and with all of that out of the way, that finally concludes Underworld Updates number 57, in which today I talked about Doctor Who seasonal politics and unboxed this beautiful, gorgeous and very unique Celestial Toymaker hardback, or Target novelisation hardback, which again I will probably give a review sometime in the future. I'm very happy to say that not only do I now have 6 William Hartnell Target novelisations, I also have, let me just check, I believe 15 in total Target novelisation hardbacks, and I've been collecting since November, so last year, so 15 Target hardbacks in the space of about a year, a little under a year, is pretty damn good in my opinion, and it's just wonderful to have so many of what I at one time considered to be like such a rare Doctor Who book range, and in my opinion these books are still sort of the rarest, or well, the second rarest Doctor Who book range if you count the Big Finish short clip books, because I mean you do have to pay quite a bit of money to try and get like these Doctor Who books and stuff, but particularly these W.H. Allens and the Dust Jackets ones and stuff, the Longbows and Wingates. They're very kind of rare and expensive books. I mean, you'll be lucky enough to get a Target novelisation hardback for 10 quid, which is pretty likely, and same for, but you won't, you're very unlikely to get a Target hardback for like underneath 10 quid. I mean, near Christmas in last year I found 5 Target hardbacks, interestingly enough £5 each, some of them being pretty expensive on their own. I mean, one of those ones was the Stones of Blood hardback, which is, I think, oh Jesus, 30 quid on its own, and I got it for 5 quid amongst 5 other Target novelisations hardback, all for 5 quid each, including that, Nightmare of Eden, Horror Fang Rock, Marco Polo, and Underworld. I think I said all of them. Anyways, this video has gone on long enough, and it's going to be even longer when I edit it. Anyway, so like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pitch Go Black, dematerialised.